Good morning, guys. I am Mama Bear to Many. Today we are going to be canning beef chunks and beef stew, and this is just the way I can it. I have been canning for over 20 years, and this is the way that I can things. I think canning is an intricate part of my life. I enjoy canning very much, but I don't always follow the books. So all my recipes and stuff might not be USDA guidelines, although they've changed their guidelines a bunch because some of my old books, my old ball books, actually have some of these canning techniques, but now they're not like legal. So you do you, I'm gonna do me. I'm just sharing what I do. So we have carrots, onions, celery, potatoes, and some beef. Good morning, guys. So today I am doing beef stew. Now this could actually be for any stew that you would like. You can just layer it up and do it like this. So first we're adding these potatoes. Yes, they look a little off colored, mainly because I'm a mom to 15. So I had one of my children cut the potatoes, and then if it were me, I would have put them in a bowl of cold water. They did not. They just put them in a bowl, and that's okay because they will taste just fine, even if they're slightly off color. So the potatoes are going in the jars. You can put as much as you want or like to do. I just do it by eye. You could measure everything in there if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. So you can also do this with pork chunks. You could do this with chicken. You could do this with any type of meat. We've done lamb before. We've done venison. We've done moose. We've done bear. We've done all different types of things. It's just a basic soup. So for us, I make the base here. And then what I would do is for every quart that I make, I'm actually going to put a quart of broth in as well. So say somebody came in a pickle and I needed to go ahead and find a quick meal to feed them for supper, then I would just decide how many jars would be appropriate and I would pull those out. So we have celery in here, and now I'm putting the carrots in here. So I would just pull however many jars I think would feed everyone, and then the same amount of broth, and then I would pull them all out and warm them up, and that would be a meal. So if I put those, this is fast food. This is Mama Bear's fast food. So I might take these right here and I would put them in a soup pot, just dump them in a soup pot, dump the broth in a soup pot, and then I would just whip together some biscuits, and we would have a nice, and everyone would be like, oh, I feel like you like slaved hours over this meal, but you really didn't. And then you fed everyone, and it is a beautiful thing. I love to be able to bless other people. I love to have like an open door, open house type policy where if people stop in, then I can just feed them. And I cannot wait to get into that more. I have not done that as of yet. I've had a couple people over from church, but I haven't had lots of people over yet. But I would love to bless people like that more. So now we're putting the onions on top. And then I'm going to add the seasonings. So we have a bay leaf. I'm going to put 2 or 3 in each of the jars. You can add whatever seasonings you want to. I usually do not add salt until later. It's just my thing. Italian seasoning, that's going in next. I might do different flavors each time. Yeah, but usually with beef stew like this, I just do very basic. So later on, if I wanted to, I could spice it up a little bit. So I'm just going to add that Italian seasoning there, and then I'm going to add, you could add it on the top. I just find that if you add it before you put the meat in, then the seasonings, especially like a bay leaf or whatever, it might float to the top. I'd rather have it like kind of shoved underneath there, so that's why I added it before I added the beef. So I add my seasonings in, and then I'm just gonna add the beef, and then just smush it down as much as I can, and then have just the head space on the top, whatever you need. I am using just my Presto electric canner today, so that's why I'm only doing 5 jars. It takes forever, but I need to just do little tidbits when I can do them so that it can be a blessing to my family. I'm trying to get back into the hang of things. I love my big crazy canning days, and I'm kind of missing them this year. It's really odd, but I am kind of missing them. Can't do that because I have a flat top stove and an all-American canner, and I looked it up and the two of them do not mix well together. So I ended up buying the electric Presto canner, which works nicely. It just feels like it takes a very long time. I mean, it's probably the same amount of time, but I'm only doing 5 jars, so it probably feels that way just because of that. But anyhow, I'm looking to put some meals in the jar. Normally I don't do meals in a jar, but I would like to have, I mean, I do a few. I don't do that many is more what I should say, because normally I would just do a bunch of, I would do like a couple quarts of hamburger and then all the separate veggies and just dump them all in at once. But I decided that I would do some meals in the jar this year so that lots of different age ranges could just kind of dump them up and warm them up. And so yeah, that's just what we're doing this year. So now I am filling this with water. It is not bottled water. I just happen to use that water jug, and I'm using it. We have city water here, so we filter it through our Berkey and then we fill the jugs like this. So it is filtered water, and I am just doing it with regular filtered water. It is not hot. It has not been boiling. It's just regular filtered water, and I'm going to cover it to the top here. What do you guys like canning? Do you like canning soups in a jar? Do you like canning meat? Do you like canning veggies, jams? What's your favorite thing to can? Put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. So I really like to can meat, and I've shared that with you guys before, but that's probably one of my favorite things to can just because it's makes for such a quick meal. Now, if you wanted to, you see you have this base here that has all the ingredients. You could even take this out without adding the extra broth, and then you could thicken it up with, say, some flour or something like that, and then make that as a minced pie. I'm just letting the air out here. Make it into a mince pie. So you would have a pie crust for the top, a pie crust for the bottom. You would dump this in there after you've like warmed it with a little bit of thickener, and then you just make a pie out of it. So there's another quick little thing for you. So got all the air out. So now I am going to just top them off again because some of them have lost all the air. The water came up and they lost a little bit of fluid, so you want to make sure that they all have fluid. I end up after this, I end up actually dumping one of them out so you can see the difference if it didn't have water in it. So I cleaned the jar rims with a cloth and I videoed it, but I didn't actually push my video button, so I was out of luck. I'm so sorry about that. So I cleaned the rims with just a muslin cloth and warm water, and then I put the lids and rings on like this, and then we're going to bring them over to the canner. Don't they look beautiful? I always like the look of food before it goes in the canner. It's like, oh, it's so lovely. So in this canner here, you fill it up to the line. I don't know if you can see it there on the left. There's a line that's like the fill line too. I think it's like 3 quarts of water. So I am just using a jug of water. This is not filtered. I just grabbed an empty jug and filled it from the tap. And we're going to get it right there. And then we're going to add those beef stews right in there. Then let's get the lid and put the lid on. Make sure that it lines up. See where it says install, remove, and then goes over to lock. And then you're going to put this part down and slide that in. You kind of have to like press it down and slide it in. Now we're going to push the button. We have to go all the way up to 90 minutes for this. That's my altitude. It's 90 minutes. You always, whenever you are canning, you always can for the longest time. So if your carrot said 30 minutes, your beef says 90 minutes, you always can the 90 minutes. All right, we are beeping now, so I'm putting my regulator on. Then I'm pushing play. Now we're canning. Don't tell anyone. I'm going for a walk while that's canning. So it's beeping and it's saying that it's done. So now we can take the things out and put the beef in. So what I ended up doing for you guys, because you can do it both ways, I ended up dumping out water from one of these jars, and this right here is the jar that does not have the water in it. It just made its own broth. You can choose to do it either way. You can either add it with the water, which is this one right here, or you don't have to, and you can have it like this here. You just get more broth if you add the water, but you don't have to. See the difference? So I didn't share it, but we have the beef in here now. It is pressure canning for 90 minutes. Once that goes down from the 90 minutes, then it will be same canning as I did with this right here. I'm doing with just the meat. And here is just the meat. So the meat can be used in any recipes. You could mix it with, like, say, cream of mushroom soup and serve that over bread, or serve that over noodles. You could serve it as sandwiches. You could make like sliders with like a barbecue sauce, like a pulled beef sandwich. You could add that to different dishes. You could make a pie with that. You could do so much with it, but it's already ready. It's like, you can just dump it out. It's awesome. So I hope you guys don't be nervous to can meat and meat products. They are such a blessing, guys. So I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. Let me know down in the comments below if you plan on trying to can meat.